Hi and welcome to today's class. I'm Christine and this is Kali, my dog. She's joining me today and she's actually showing us where we want to be by the end of that class. So that's her mood. She's very relaxed and this is also the idea for this class today, as it's all about relieving some stress, especially in the area around the spine. So we're focusing on the back today, and we're also focusing on the fascia around the spine, which we're going to open up through movements called fascial gliding. And we're also going into some twists, so finding some mobility in the spine again to hopefully open up that whole back area for a better movement. You will need a blanket if you have problems with knees, as we're going to be on our knees a lot today. So something similar like a blanket or just something where you can pat your knees. And you will also need a block. I'm sitting on the block right now. So we're going to start in a seated position with a little pranayama exercise. And I have also an oil, which you can integrate. You don't need to, but it might feel really nice. It's just a simple peppermint oil, as we're going to also open up our breath with a bigger focus on the back body. So find a comfortable seat, maybe sitting on your block, and then take your oil, put some drops in your hands. Make sure that you're lengthening the spine in a natural way. So you're not over lengthening, you're not rounding, and you can also release the shoulders. Move your throat back a little to get the neck nice and long. Close your eyes and then just wrap your hands in a clockwise direction for a few moments, and then keep your eyes closed and bring your hands over your nose. Releasing the shoulders, and for the beginning, just start to connect with the scent of peppermint. And take a few breaths here. And let this scent come into your nose with your inhale, opening up the breath when you inhale through your nose. And maybe exhale and open your mouth. Do this a few more times. Inhale, focus on your nose. And exhale, open your mouth and sigh. 2 more. And then release your hands from here. Keep your eyes closed and keep breathing, and try to still remember that scent, or maybe you can still smell it, the scent of peppermint, and send your breath to the back body. So sending the breath towards the upper back, to the shoulders. And imagine you just open up areas there, massaging those areas there just with your breath, as you're going to start breathing deeper slowly. Also breathing to the sides of your ribs. And let this breath just happen naturally. Take another 2 nice and deep breaths, breathing to the upper back. Opening up the lungs, opening up your rib cage. And then slowly from here, with your next inhale, you're going to open your eyes. And we're going to find a way on our backs, starting with a little reset. So grab your block. You can put the blanket to the side. You don't need it right now. and lay on your back. Feet are on the floor, and you're going to take your block and bring the block in between your thighs, the middle thighs. And then give that block a little squeezing with your thighs. Push the feet down into the floor, and when you're ready, you're going to lift up into a low bridge. Now find a little engagement in your glutes, lift your pubic bone up, and just visualizing that movement that you're doing usually with your spine when you're going into some cat and cows, and we're trying to create the same movement with the pelvis. So you're going to release the pelvis, so you're going to release your sits bones, and you find kind of an arching, a little bit of an arching in your lower back, and then lift up again and try to lift a little bit more by really lifting the pubic bone towards your navel, and then release again. So we do this a few more times, coming from an anterior tilted pelvis, so when we're arching in that lower back, to a posterior tilt, where we're going to kind of tucking the tailbone, not really under, but we are moving the tailbone more towards the sits bones. Try to connect that movement with your breath. Good. And then from here, keep your hips lifted and find that something in between that posterior and anterior tilted pelvis, and that in between is the neutral pelvis. And this is the position that we want to have for the class today. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Keep your lower belly active. Keep your glutes working as well. Your lower back is nice and long, so there is no arching in that area. And then from here, with your next exhale, you're going to lower down on the floor segmentally, coming from the middle back and going slowly down to the lower back. Good. And then from here, keep the block where it is, but bring your knees up so you have the knees in line with your hips. Interlace your hands behind your head. Move your elbows in. Keep your belly engaged. Pull the front ribs in. Take an inhale. Exhale. Lift your shoulder blades off the floor. So we're going to warm up the core, especially that abdomen area, a little bit more. Inhale and lower. This is a nice way. Exhale, come up when you have a lot of stress. So just taking inhale and lower, just taking those little breaks in between and connect with your deep core. Exhale, come up. Inhale and lower. Exhale and lift. Shoulder blades are off the floor. Stay here. Now twist an inch over towards the right. Keep your right shoulder blade off the floor. Come back to center. Keep squeezing your block. Inhale and lower. Exhale and lift. Twist an inch over towards the left. Coming back to center. Inhale and lower. Exhale and lift. We're going to move on from there. Twist an inch towards the right. Now reach your left arm to the outside of your right thigh and push with your left forearm into your thigh and with your thigh into your arm. Bring your hand behind the head. Come back to center. Inhale and lower. So also adding the obliques from here. Exhale, lift the shoulder blades, twist an inch towards the left, reach your right arm, push into your thigh, bring your hand behind the head, come back to center, inhale and lower. Exhale and lift. Twist an inch towards the right, reach your left arm. Now reach your right arm as well next to your ear. Spread your fingers. And then bring your hands behind the head. Come back to center. Inhale and lower. We do 1 more. Exhale and lift. Twisting over towards the left. Reach your right arm. And then reach your left arm next to your ear. Spread the fingers. Keep breathing. And then bring your hands behind the head. Come back to center. Inhale and lower. And bring the feet down on the floor. Roll to one side and find your way onto your hands and knees. You can also take your blanket here right away, bringing the knees on your blanket, and take your block as well. Now bring the block to your skull and in between the shoulder blades. It's just a little prop that helps you keeping the neck in line so that you can really lengthen your spine from here. Your wrists are in line with your shoulders. Pull lower belly in, lift your head, and then reach your right leg back. Keep the toes tucked under. Activate your glutes, and then lift your right leg up. Bend your knee, flex your foot, and then start pulsing. So just tiny little lifts. Pelvis is in a neutral position, and you're also supporting with the left gluteus medius so that you're not tipping to the side. We're going to open up the front of the right hip, which is in a hip extension. And at the same time, we're still warming up the core, the shoulders, and focusing also on that neutral position of the body with the support of the block. One more breath. And then bring that knee back down. We're going to do the other side. Push your hands down, reach your left leg back, keep the toes tucked under first, activating your right glute, and then lift your right leg up, hip high, bend your knee, and when you're ready, start pulsing. Your spine is nice and long. You're still taking those deep, deep breaths into your body. And also focusing on the length of the front right thigh. Stay for one more breath. And then bring that left knee down. Bring the block down, and we're going from here into a dolphin pose. So coming onto your forearms, you can also interlace your hands or keep the palms down. Release your head first. So really let your head hang. Maybe shake it a little, saying yes, 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 no, no, no. And then pull the front body towards the back body. And with that action, you're going to lift up into a dolphin pose. Reach your right leg back and up. Bend your knee and then bring that knee out to the right into an external rotation. So pelvis is leveled and we're opening up the hip here. Now bring that knee towards the left knee into an internal rotation and then back external rotation. So it's just a movement that happens in your hips or in the right hip basically to finding some mobility there. One more breath. And then bring it back to center. Step the foot down. We do the other side. Lift your left leg back and up. Bend your knee. And then bring it into external rotation. And then internal rotation. So knee goes out towards the left. And towards the right, to the back of the right knee. A few more times. Keep breathing. This is also a nice way to warm up the shoulders, warming up the whole upper body, and of course, mobilizing the hips. One more breath, and then bring it back to center. Bring your knees down and come from here into a downward facing dog. So just have your wrists in line with the shoulders, tuck your toes, and then lift your hips up. Push the palms down into the floor and allow your shoulder blades, your scapula to lift up towards your shoulders. That really helps to open up the back fascia. At the same time, you can also bend your knees a little bit more to lift the hips even higher, but keep your belly super, super engaged. Release your head and just breathe towards the whole back body. Big, big breath. Now from here, with your next inhale, you're going to reach your right leg back and up, just hip high, and then step that foot forward. We're going to go into a 90-90 lunge. So you come bringing the left knee down and you have both knees in that 90-90 ankle. Now from here, keep pulling the front body towards the back body. Your glutes are active. Move your throat back and then reach your arms up with your next inhale and twist towards the right. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Now, this is the moment where you might start tipping in the pelvis, so activate your left glute even more. Pull the right heel back to create more length in the front of your left thigh. And then from here, bring your right hand to the right shoulder. So you're bending the elbow, and we're gonna add some tiny little twists. So moving from the rib cage and open up into these little pulses. So pushing back, 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 few more. But making sure that you're not rounding in your spine. So the spine is in a nice long line. And you're just turning from your rib cage. We do this for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay in that twist. Reach your right arm back. And we're going to start swinging from here. So you swing your right arm forward and really think of reaching your right arm even more. And then swing it back and reach. Swing forward and back. So focus on that movement around the right shoulder blade. When you're reaching your arm back, you're coming forward, reach, and then go back, open up. Few more times. Stay long in your spine. So when you're coming forward, you're not leaning there. So you keep your body, your upper body upright. And you're just moving your right arm for another 3, 2, 1, and then stay there. And with that long arm, you're going to push back again. So push these little pulses, push, push, push. Good. 2 more breaths. Keep your spine nice and long. And then from here, reach your arm up a little bit more like you're going into a V. Spread your fingers super wide and then again, push back. Those little pulses just for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then release. So reach your arms up again with your inhale. And then this time you're going to twist over towards the left, coming into an open twist. So you have your right hand at the inside of your right knee. And we will swing from here again. So you're swinging your left arm forward and you might notice that your pelvis is moving with you. And you open up again. So swing, reaching the arm and swing. Keep pushing into your right knee, so don't let that knee fall in. And keep your lower belly active. So we're opening up that fascia that is surrounding the spine. We're going into those rotation movements, which is so nice when you are for a longer time during the day in one position. And now you can bring a little bit more flowing back into the body. Another 3, 2, 1, and release. You're gonna come onto both knees, bring your hands to your hips and then open the knees a little bit wider than hip distance. And again, we're gonna stay with that neutral pelvis, moving the lower belly in, lift your pubic bone up, keep your spine nice and long. And then from here, sit your hips back, so folding forward, and then come back up again, activate your glutes and push from your glutes, push the hips forward. You're going down, sit your hips back, rise, so use your glutes to come up, and then going down again. So focus on the length of your spine when you're lifting up, so you're not rounding when you come up, and you have your neck also in that line with the rest of your spine, so don't let your head hang. Few more of this. So now we are opening the fascia around the thighs and the lower back. Going for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sit your hips back. Come into a child's pose for a moment. Reach your arms forward. Come onto your fingertips. You can bring your forehead down and then breathe into the back body, especially the sides. So breathing towards the sides of your ribs, to the upper back, to your chest. It's like you're creating kind of a 3-dimensional breathing. You can also exhale through your mouth, especially if there's a lot of stuff that you want to let go, at least for this practice. So use your breath to relieve your stress. Good. And then from here, come back onto your hands and knees, making sure that you bring your knees in again, so the knees are in line with your hips. Tuck your toes under. We will do the other side, so find your way back into a downward facing dog. Keep your arms super straight. Push your palms down. Your knees are bent. And we're starting in with hip swivel, so you're gonna turn your heels to the right, bend both knees, push the left hand down, and then the other side, heels come over towards the left and right. So this really opens up the lower back as well, finding some mobility in the lower part of your spine. One more each side. And then find your way back to center. Keep your knees bent. Reach your left leg back and up, hip high, and step that foot forward in between your hands. Right knee comes down and you rise into your low lunge. So it's this 90-90 ankle, activating your right glute. Pelvis is neutral. Reach your arms up. Big, big breath. Reach your arms a little bit higher now. So just what we did in down dog, let your scapula, the shoulder blades come up towards your ears, and then twist towards your left. Right hand comes to the outside of your left knee, and then bring your left hand to your shoulder, and we're going to start pulsing from the rib cage. So going a little bit deeper into that twist. Your spine is long and the whole upper body is engaged in that movement. So you're working your lower belly, you're working your hips, your glutes, and you're twisting from the ribs. For another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stay there. Reach your left arm back, and then we're going to start swinging. So you reach your left arm forward and then open up and back. And make it a really big movement, so really reaching the arm to feel that movement in your left shoulder blade. So opening up the fascia. At the same time, you're pulling your left foot back to get this nice length in your right thigh as well. Staying for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep your arm back, keep it straight, and then start pulsing from here. So push it back, back, back. Keep your lower belly engaged. Going for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now reach your arm up, coming into that V shape, and pulse it back from here on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then turn towards the front again. Reach your arms up. Inhale. We're coming to an open twist towards the right. Left hand comes to the inside of your right knee. Right arm is reaching back. Pull your lower belly in and push with your right hand into your knee. And then from here, we're going to start swinging again. So reach your arm forward and back. So moving the pelvis as well. This time, try to bring movement and breath together. So on every inhale, you're reaching the arm back. And on your exhale, you're coming forward. Go for another 3, 2, 1, and release. Come onto both knees and stay here. We're gonna do these little forward folds again. So your toes are tucked under, pelvis is neutral, hands come to your hips. And then you're sitting the hips back, activate your glutes to come back up. You can also open the knees a little bit wider if this might hurt in your hips. So then it might feel a little bit easier, especially when you have some knee issues. We're gonna do this for another 5. Keep the upper body straight. So let just that movement happen in your hips. Pelvis is neutral. 3, 2, 1. And then bring it back down. Come into a child's pose. Sit your hips back, reach your arms forward. You can come onto your fingertips and breathe in towards the back body. Big, big breath. And then from here with your next inhale, walk your hands back, sit on one side, and then find your way on your backs again. And bend your knees in towards your chest, grab your knees with your hands, and then just add a few nice circles here. And it might feel really nice today for your Shavasana if you stay in that nice little opening of your hips. So you bring the feet down and together, and then just let your knees open to the sides in the Supta Baddha Konasana. You can bring your arms out to the side, turn your palms up towards the ceiling, release the shoulders. Open your mouth one more time when you exhale. And then stay here in that version of your Shavasana for a couple of moments. And then slowly, slowly from here, bring the attention back into your body. Waking up the body with your breath. Take an inhale into your nose. And when you exhale, just open your mouth and again, let something go. One more time, inhale into your nose. And exhale, relieving some stress. Bring your hands to the outside of your thighs and help your legs coming up again so that you can step your feet on the floor. Maybe it could feel also nice to bring your legs up for a moment, but keep your lower back flat on the floor. You can keep a slight bend in your knees. Circle the ankles in one direction and then in the other direction. And you can either stay here. I had meanwhile a little dog change on my mat. So you can stay for a few more moments on the floor. It's also a nice way to come back, bringing the attention back, keep your eyes open and just feeling into the sensations of your body. And when you feel ready, coming back up into a seated position and getting back into your day, I hope with a little bit more freedom in and around your spine, in your fascia. And I thank you very much for joining and see you next time.